Far too many people believe that the only way you can make a full-time living in professional wrestling is by signing a big dollar contract with one of the corporate players. But this isn't true. In fact, I am living proof of that fact. I have turned down every contract offer that's ever been put in front of me. So yes, you can quit your 9-to-5 job and earn a full-time living wage in professional wrestling if you can navigate the 4 financial considerations that I'm going to walk you through next, and you can follow the 4 very specific guidelines I'm going to explain to you. This one is coming in hot. Leave me that like-a-palooza right now. Let's go. The first of these financial considerations is what we will refer to as your financial freedom number. And if you've ever dabbled in real estate investing, I bet you're familiar with that term. Your financial freedom number is the total of all your monthly expenses. And that includes your mortgage, home loan, and rent, any monthly utilities that you pay. Do you pay for electric, gas, internet, water, maybe trash removal, any of those, plus the recurring monthly expenses of your credit cards, your gym membership, any streaming services you subscribe to, and what you spend in gas or transportation expense and on groceries. You've got to add all those things together. This is what you spend in a month. That is your financial freedom number. It's the number we want to hit with your wrestling income and then exceed so that you know it is time to leave the traditional workforce and give a go at being a true professional wrestler, where it is your full-time profession. But we got to know that number. And because I'm going to have to refer to this a couple times as we work through my 4 financial considerations, let's say that we total all these things up and the number just happens to be, for the purpose of an example, $4,000. That's what we're going to roll with here as we work our way through these 4 considerations. $4,000 is the number we're trying to hit. So, if the amount of money you earn every month just from your wrestling bookings already exceeds that number, you're in fantastic shape. But not many people start there. I do want you, though, to consider any ancillary revenue streams you have that come from wrestling except your merchandise sales. So I'll give you an example of one of those ancillary revenue streams, and I don't mind sharing the actual financial figure with you right now. Each and every month from this YouTube channel, I earn roughly $125 US. Doesn't seem to matter what I publish or post. How often I do it never really changes by more than $1 or $2. That's what I make every single month from this YouTube channel. It's just enough to pay my internet bill now, and that's about it. $125 is this ancillary revenue stream, but it's not the only ancillary revenue stream I have due to wrestling. For example, I earn a royalty every time somebody listens to one of my audiobooks on Audible, and my books are all about wrestling, so I consider that to be part of my wrestling revenue. And you may have some ancillary revenue streams of your own that are tied to wrestling. Do you have a really popular OnlyFans? Is that because all your wrestling fans also subscribe to that service? I think that's one of your ancillary revenue streams. But while adding that up to see if it hits your financial freedom number, I don't recommend counting in merchandise because in my experience, that merchandise figure at the end of each month can be wildly unpredictable. I go to one town, I might sell a couple $100 worth of merchandise. I go to the next town, I don't sell a thing. That's why I never factor merchandise sales into my total. Financial consideration number 2 is my least favorite on the entire list. It's health insurance. And you need health insurance if you're working in wrestling. And right now, that might be part of the compensation package you receive at your 9-to-5 job. Health insurance might be part of that package if you live somewhere where the health services aren't nationalized, like they are in Canada or they are in Italy. So here in the United States, we unfortunately have to contend with the most arcane health insurance system ever devised. If you are leaving your 9-to-5 job, you're going to have to go about obtaining private health insurance for yourself. Luckily, since the Affordable Care Act was signed into law here in the United States, each state has to provide you with opportunities to obtain that health insurance for yourself. And the website where you can start, it's appearing on screen right now, so you have a sense of what it looks like. The exact link to that page is down below right now in the description. And in case this part of the process is brand new to you, look very closely at the difference in prices on various health insurance plans and pick one that meets your specific needs so you can see what it's going to cost you every month. And then that number has to get added to your financial freedom number. If we were at $4,000 previously, but the health insurance package you need costs an additional $500 per month, that freedom number is now $4,500. This third consideration requires that you think a little bit down the line. In what ways could leaving the traditional workforce to instead become self-employed potentially impact your future plans, like applying for a mortgage to buy a house? Because if you can't demonstrate consistent employment with steady income over a long period of time, you are unlikely to get approved for a mortgage. You may not be able to buy that house. If you left a job which paid you a set amount of money every single month to become self-employed where your income varies wildly from month to month, that isn't going to be attractive to a bank. So give serious consideration to what you plan to be doing in the 3 years ahead before you make this move so you don't jeopardize any of your future plans. And the last of these, before you tender your resignation at your 9-to-5 job, I want you to build up a savings safety net, just in case you need it. And to arrive at the right number, I think you take your financial freedom number. So for this example, we were using $4,500. That's the $4,000 from before we considered the health insurance piece. And then that $500 health insurance package gets us to $4,500. Multiply that by 3. And you know I'm doing this in my head right now. Why didn't I calculate this before I pressed record? I think it's $13,500. I'm going to stand on that. I feel very confident that's what it is. That's the amount you want to have in savings. 3 times your financial freedom number. Just in case anything were to go wrong, you've got that in the bank to fall back on. $13,500. If you've given consideration to those future plans, which could be impacted by becoming self-employed, and you've built up that savings safety net I just described, and all your wrestling revenue is covering your financial freedom number, including the health insurance piece, then I think pro wrestling is your full-time job. Now, I got to walk you through these 4 very specific guidelines. Guideline number 1, you're going to network every single day. You are doing networking for future work opportunities in the world of pro wrestling every single day. Doesn't matter if you're going through a period where bookings are abundant or a period where bookings seem fallow, you're going to be networking every single day because networking happens in seasons and not every season is harvest time. Guideline number 2, set specific and trackable goals for your wrestling earnings and track them. Actually track them. And then be on the lookout for trends so you'll be able to identify when things are growing or if they're headed in the other direction. Guideline number 3. Now that you're self-employed, take advantage of any opportunity you have to be paying your taxes to the government quarterly rather than annually. You do not want to see that one giant tax bill at the end of the year. Guideline 4, realistically, is one you can start working on right now. You need to start putting in place a support network for your pro wrestling career, which consists of 5 different people. And I go into detail about all 5 of them, about the roles that they play in the video, which is appearing on screen right now. So click on that. I'll see you over there. Or click on the orange box with a P in it. It will take you directly to my Patreon. I'd love to have you come and join us this month especially because the prices for my Patreon are going up next month. Jump in, lock in your price right now.